So this is my interview with Demarcus Nelson, who formerly played in the NBA, plays overseas currently, played for Duke, and is the leading scorer in California history. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing great. How's your afternoon going?
Good. Just visited San Diego State.
Oh, nice. You on a recruiting trip?
Yeah. So just a brief background of who I am. My name is Carson Cook. I just turned 18, and I graduated from River City, in West
Okay, man.
Sacramento. And then I'm attending San Diego State in the fall.
Okay, nice. Nice.
So this is.
Congratulations, man. That's no small accomplishment these days.
Thank you. You don't mind if I record this, right?
No, go ahead. You record it.
Cool.
I'm just moving around right now, so that's why I don't have my video on. If you don't mind.
All right, sounds good. Yeah. So my just goal is to become a sports analyst, and then this is my first interview. So if I suck, just let me know.
No, we all got to start somewhere.
So you're in Vegas, right?
Yeah, I'm here in Vegas now.
Nice. Going to see that Tyson fight?
I wish. I'm gonna have to get back on a plane to Europe probably within the next 3 weeks, or I would be definitely going to see that Wilder Fury fight again.
Yeah, I'm heading down there Labor Day weekend, I think.
Oh yeah, it's always a good weekend. It's always a good weekend.
So if you don't mind if I just start.
Go ahead.
So where did you grow up, and what had inspired you to start playing?
I grew up in the Bay Area. My family's from Richmond, and that's a really small city that's in between Vallejo and Oakland. That it's a very rough place, and so it was a little rough growing up. The things that we were exposed to, the violence, the drug activity, and things like that. And so my parents tried to get my siblings and I out of that environment. So that's when we moved to Vallejo when I was, I believe, in elementary school. And so growing up in Vallejo, things were a lot better than Richmond. But went to Lincoln Elementary School, went to Vallejo Middle School, and Vallejo High School, and then my senior year transferred up to Sheldon. Like I said, things were starting to get a little hectic and crazy in Vallejo. So once again, my parents tried to get us out of that environment. So we moved up to Sheldon. So it's been quite the journey. Basketball, really, I got started playing basketball just because I was a child with a ton of energy, and I was driving my parents crazy around the house. So they just got me into sports just to have me something just to blow off my energy. And as I got a little older, some things came natural. And, once I started to train, maybe 6th or 7th grade, once I started actually training it, taking things more serious, then the development process for myself really started to go up. And, that's when I really fell in love with it. So
you played 3 years at Vallejo, correct?
Yeah, freshman through junior year.
So what were those 3 years kind of like?
Man, it was special, really. Growing up, 7th, 8th grade, Vallejo High School's men's varsity basketball team was really good. They were competing every year for the NorCal finals. They had a really good team, a lot of talent. So just looking up to those guys, I knew that I wanted to play at that level. And I also knew I wanted to be a McDonald's All-American. And so I knew the only chance that I had of actually doing that, what I saw was all the McDonald's All-Americans, they started varsity as freshmen. And that was something that hadn't been done in Vallejo before ever, just because of the talent that they had. And so, as an 8th grader, I started training extremely hard around the clock, waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning, going, do physical training, then going to school, then after school getting, into the gym with my dad. So it was, so when I finally got to Vallejo High, it was just special. Those Friday night lights that come on, and everyone in the city is at the gym, all the games are sold out. It was really, really special.
That's really cool. So then you switched to Sheldon, and that was just more of a outside of basketball type of thing?
We moved up. Like I said, the decision to move to Sacramento was a family reason, and that's the reason why we moved. And so when my parents were looking to go up there, obviously, Elk Grove, Sheldon area, Sheldon basketball, they were doing well at that time as well. And so that was the decision, to try to go and move, into that area, and that's what we did. And it was a new experience coming from, the Bay Area and Vallejo High School to Sheldon. It was definitely a new experience, but it was extremely fun. We had a lot of notoriety, a lot of media coverage. Every place we played at in Sacramento was packed, sold out, standing room only, and so it was really exciting for everybody, not only myself, but my friends that I met there and my teammates.
So would you say the talent was equal when you were in Sheldon versus Vallejo?
I would say the talent in Vallejo was much more, for sure. There were just so many just raw athletes, Division I bound athletes that went to Vallejo. The problem there was just a lot of these guys just didn't, academically didn't cut it, and they couldn't get eligible or didn't take it serious, or, being in Vallejo, there were so many girls around, and, people were playing sports just to get the attention from the girls. And so guys didn't really take it serious to try to get to the next level, where my whole goal was to use basketball or sports, one, to get to the next level in college, but two, to try to, create an opportunity to get my family out of that environment. So I had a focus from a young age. And at Sheldon, we had a couple good players on that team, and we were good as a team. But at Vallejo, we just had a lot of raw talent.
A lot of undeveloped, but just pure athleticism.
Yeah.
So you would say your 8th grade year is what really took you to that next level?
I would say probably between 6th and 7th grade. That's when I really started training more, serious. Also, probably 6th, 7th grade is when I started traveling nationally to some of these tournaments. And that's when, I think I really started to get a lot of notoriety, from the way that I was playing. So it was really, really fun. Really fun. I just had such a good time. It was fun. We traveled almost every weekend.
Played AAU level?
Excuse me?
Would it be AAU level?
Yeah, we were playing AAU level 6th, 7th grade. We were still traveling, like I said. I was every weekend I was somewhere traveling. And so there was still a lot of competition. But once I got to the 8th grade, then it was pretty clear that I was, pretty good. And my training really went to the next level. I really started turning my training up. I spent a lot of time. And I think that's where I got the results.
That's really cool. So what would you say was your driving force in going out there on the court and giving it your all every night?
I just wanted to be as good as I could be. And, like I said, 8th grade to high school, my goal was to be a McDonald's All-American. And once I got into high school and I saw how, good I was versus my peers, then my goal was obviously to be an NBA player. And so that was always my focus. That was always on my mind. I was just so much different from my peers, where I didn't go out partying. I wasn't hanging out a lot. Everything I did at that time was all centered around sports. It was centered around basketball, centered around training. And, I sacrificed a lot of my childhood or a lot of my normal kid-like activities for the game.
Mm-hmm. So you obviously scored a lot of points in your high school career. What were just some of your favorite moments of on the court, off the court, any acknowledgement? What was your favorite moments?
It was so many. It was always a battle anytime that one of my teams, if it was Vallejo or Sheldon, played against a Bay Area team. Just because I was from the Bay Area, but Vallejo is kind of considered to kind of be outside of the Bay, so they never fully, said I was one of them. So it was always an underlying rival thing between myself and the Oakland or San Francisco players. So anytime we played them, it was a grudge match. And I made a point to just completely try to destroy them. So we had some nice games against Oakland High. We had some good games against Fremont High. Another really good against De La Salle. That team was always probably the team that gave me the most problems, and I could never get over the hump with them in the playoffs. I remember, was it my junior or senior year? It was my senior year. Was it my junior year? I played against them my junior and senior year, and the crazy thing about playing against them is just we played against them in the preseason, and I think I had like 55, or I had a lot of points that game. I had unbelievable. They played me head up. They didn't double me. They just put like a football player just to play physical with me, and I was used to teams doing that, so I was perfectly fine with the contact. And I had a monster game against them in the preseason. So when we came to play them in the NorCal Championship game in Arco, I knew for a fact that they were going to double me, and they was not going to let me be the reason why they lost. And so I told my teammates for the game, like, yo, I'm not going to do as much, scoring as I normally am tonight. So you guys be ready to shoot. Like when they double, I'm gonna pass it. Just be ready to shoot. And so they gave us a crazy game. They ended up beating us, of course, in the NorCal Championship. But that was always a team that I hated playing against.
Yeah, I remember going up to, you know who Stanley Johnson is?
Yeah, I know Stanley.
We watched him at Arco during the NorCal versus SoCal, and that was a pretty cool experience to see.
Yeah.
So, the reason I kind of found out was I looked up like just the leading scorers in each state for high school basketball, and it says you scored about 3,462 points.
Yeah, something up there, yeah.
What was it like knowing that you were the leading scorer? Do you remember like any of your last point as a basketball player, or what was that moment like knowing that like I'm one of the best scorers out here?
I knew. I mean, I was a scorer. I could score the ball in multiple ways, and I had a knack, and my father trained me. My father, really taught me how to beat not only my man, but the secondary defender that came to help side. He taught me, how to be crafty and creating space and opportunity. And so it was really good to see that everything that we trained, it made the games that much easier. And I don't remember my last point that gave me the record, because I think it wasn't really close. I think I just blew the record out, and I should have probably scored around 3,500 or 3,600 points. At the time in high school, I was a horrible free throw shooter. I think I shot less than 60% or under 65% as a guard, which is horrible. Now as a professional, I shoot over 80. So that should have been an extra 200 plus points there alone. But it would be times, and it's a true story, it would be times where I would have 40, 50 points in a game, and everybody's congratulating me, everyone's excited. And then I go see my dad after the game, and he's upset. And he's, like mad. He's like, okay, good, you had 50, but you took your foot off the brake. You should have had 60. You should have had 65. Like the last 5 minutes of the game, you just chilled, which was true a lot of the times. And so he was more so just talking to the killer mentality, like the game's not over until it's over. And if you can, go score 100, go score it. But, sometimes I would always try. I was a very unselfish scorer, meaning I wasn't just trying to hunt my own shot. I was really playing the game the right way. And I would freely pass to my teammates every time that I seen them open, and trust those guys to make good decisions or make shots.
So you would say your dad really helped you with growing up playing the game?
Oh, for sure. I mean, my dad trained me all the way up until like 10th grade. Once I got to the level where he felt that I surpassed his training, that he sought after guys who were the training professionals. And my dad was a vital role in my development.
So you talked a lot about being a McDonald's All-American. Just what was it like to receive that honor? And you scored 22 points and had 5 rebounds in it.
Yeah, it was an amazing game. Very historic game. I had a great time. I was really upset. I was pissed off, to be honest. One, that I wasn't named a starter. We had practices all week, and I was just showing everybody in the practices. All those guys are really good guys.
Yeah, there was a couple All-Stars in that game.
Oh, for sure. All those guys are really good guys, and so when they didn't name me a starter, I took that personal, and then the coach didn't actually put me in the game until midway through I would say into the second quarter or midway into the second quarter. So I came in just like with a big chip.
Mm-hmm. Because I was watching the game a little, and it's like I didn't see it. I'm like, what? How is this? How did he still score 22?
Yeah. When I got in, I was really efficient. I was really efficient in the game, and I think the record might have been 24 or 25. And I think I missed a couple layups and a couple free throws, or I would have broke the scoring record. But it was a great game. It was a privilege to be out there playing with those guys. A lot of those guys are still playing the game and highly successful, and so it was great.
Yeah, because I think Jr. had 30, and then he went straight to the league, right, from high school.
Yeah, he was set to go to North Carolina, but he had an amazing game where he got hot and he started bombing threes from all over the place, and he was super athletic. So he ended up that game probably sealed the deal for him to go pro directly out of high school. And it was obviously some other guys, Sebastian Tilford, Dwight Howard,
LaMarcus.
Rudy Gay. It was so many guys in that game that went straight out of high school.
That East team was pretty stacked.
Yeah, they were good. They were stacked.
So then after that, you went on to Duke. Just what were your goal and aspirations with attending there?
I just wanted to be the best player I can be. Honestly, when I was growing up, I was a Arizona fan, and I loved Mike Bibby, Miles Simon, Gilbert Arenas, watching those guys play. And Duke was always coming on late, so we never saw them play. So I really didn't like Duke at all. When I went out there and I committed to go to Duke, they showed me a video of Jason Williams in his senior year, and I just felt like I could have that same type of impact, and it would be no better platform to have that type of impact. And so that's why I committed to going to Duke. It was a very hard and tough process being there.
So was it always your... My bad.
Go ahead.
So was it always your plan to stay there 4 years, or what were you thinking?
My plan going in, honestly, was probably to play 2 or 3 years. I didn't plan on being there all 4. But turn of events and how things went. I got hurt in the preseason my first year. I got hurt in the preseason my first year, and tore the ligament in my thumb and chipped the bone. So that actually changed my shot a lot and how I shot the ball. I had a metal plate taped to my hands for that whole season, and then going into my sophomore year, I got healthy and was having a really strong sophomore year. Preseason, and I think I was leading scorer of the team, averaging like 16, 17 points with 5 or 6 rebounds and 5 or 6 assists. So I was playing really strong, and then maybe 6 or 7 games into that preseason, somebody rolls me over and I broke my ankle. So now I'm out basically the whole season. I tried to force myself to come back for the NCAA tournament. It wasn't right. And then junior year was junior, and then summer. No, that was my junior year. Yeah, and then junior year was a tough year. That was a rebuilding year where we got all freshmen or incoming freshmen that year. So it was a rebuilding process there. So the team wasn't ready, and coach was on me extremely hard. So going into my senior year, I was trying out for the Team USA team and ended up breaking my wrist. And that on the first day, I broke it. I thought I just jammed it, so I played with a broken wrist for the next 4 days. And I actually made the team and was announced as a starter. So, after I made the team, I was like, okay, let me get my wrist checked out, because it was, I was really playing with one hand for like 4 days. I just had it wrapped up. But I'm surprised people didn't notice that I was really playing with one hand. And so once they x-rayed it, saw that it was broken, I was like, oh, shoot. And Coach K, I was like, oh, I could play like this. Don't worry about it. And they called Coach K. He called me. He was like, this is your upcoming senior year. Like, you're coming back. You're coming back out here. So get on this plane. You're having surgery in the morning. And so that was the end of my Team USA stint. And then senior year was a great year.
Yeah, your senior year, you were first team All-ACC and ACC All-Defensive Team. Would you say your defense picked up in your senior year because you took more on a lot of that leadership role for the younger guys?
Yeah, I would say so. I think it was I think going into my senior year, I was a captain my junior year, but senior year, I think it was just knowing that this was, ultimately the last time I can do it, and trying to be the best that I can be and make sure the team could be the best that we can be. It really helped me be even that much better because I had to be that example every single day to all the young guys. I think, this type of year and the season that I had, spoke for itself.
And then if you could just speak on, like, playing under such a legendary coach at Duke in Krzyzewski, just all the stories that he has, and, like, with him.
I mean, it's just an encyclopedia of knowledge and everything. That guy is just, he really breeds winners. And, he's a tough coach to play for. He's not for everybody. Anybody can't just play for Coach K. He respects toughness. He respects mentally tough guys. And so it was something that respect had to be earned, and he tried and tested you all the way. And so I was very, very fortunate to be able to learn from him. He really taught me how to work. I thought I worked hard in high school, but there's a different level of work there, and a different level of preparation with, mentally preparing, physically preparing before every game.
So is he one of the big reasons you decided to attend Duke?
I would say, yeah. Obviously, his resume and his philosophy speaks for itself. So just going, meeting him and sitting down in front of, a guy like that, it definitely gives you the confidence that if this guy says that you have the ability to be really good, then you trust and believe that, and you just want to go learning.
Yeah, just all the stories he has are amazing.
Yeah.
So then after your senior year, you went to the Warriors, correct?
Yeah.
So what was it like to play just that season for your hometown team?
It was great. I mean, it was I had a great time. It was a great opportunity. Had my friends and family around. I thought I played really well, and I was told by the organization I played really well, and that they were keeping me for the next few years. I ended up getting hung on on the business aspect of it, and I very quickly that basketball at that level is a multi-billion-dollar a year business. And so some decisions had nothing to do with basketball, and I found that out quick.
Yeah, because I don't. You probably know this, but you're the first undrafted player to start opening night.
Yeah,
that's a pretty cool thing. Just
It's not bad at all.
especially for all the misfortunes that happened in college.
For sure. I mean, I worked extremely hard when I left college, and I got myself in great shape and had my right team and trainers around me. So, I had an opportunity just to go out there and compete, and it was, I can control my own destiny. And that's what it was in my hands. It was a great experience to be able to go out there and just compete.
So then you went on and you're having a great pro career currently, correct?
It's going pretty good. It's going really good. I'm really fortunate. It's been great in Europe. I've been able to play on some unbelievable teams. I've been able to travel and live in the best cities. I've had some all-European accolades. I've won some championships. I had some personal awards. So I couldn't be more happy with, how my career has been going. I'm really, really fortunate.
So what was your reaction to going overseas and not really knowing the culture, but what was it like to adapt to that?
I was okay with it because I was used to traveling from a young age, and I was used to being away from home since a young age, and so it really wasn't that big of a shock to me. It was just more language barrier and dealing with the nationalities of Europeans, and so that was the only thing that was an adjustment. And once I went through that, I was perfectly fine. Basketball is basketball. It's the same everywhere you go. But, the European game is more similar to college. It's more fundamental. The court is smaller. They shrink the court. But I still, enjoyed it, and I still had, tons of success there.
So do you have any idea what you want to do once you retire?
I've been investing, and I'm heavily invested into a lot of different things. I have business mentors that have been mentoring me for the last few years. Obviously, I've been speaking to Coach K and keeping close contact with him and keeping my options open if I want to go into the coaching on the college level or go into the NBA front office. So I've really been keeping my options open. It just really depends on the timing of when I decide to finish, and I think I'm going to play maybe another 2 years maximum. And whatever the best opportunity or how things just, play out over the next 2 years will probably dictate which area I go into. But I'm sure no matter which one I choose, I'm going to be involved in all of them.
So you want to stay around basketball for sure?
Oh, for sure. In some capacity I will, for sure.
What would you ever just spitballing here, would you coach high school, or do you want to go to the front office or college?
I think I would coach college or NBA front office. That would be my first. That would be what I would probably end up doing if I go into coaching.
Yeah, because that's that would be perfectly set for you, and that's pretty awesome because that would be anybody's dream job right there.
Yeah.
So just one last thing, to the people growing up today in Northern California, and just across the state, country, what advice would you give to them in achieving your goals?
I would just say, it's a model that I live by, and it's hard work pays off. And, there's no goal that can ever be met without 100% focus and going after it. And the fear of failure is a good thing, and it really drove me to try to be as perfect as possible or as prepared as possible. And if you're prepared, then you're okay with the results. But and that's the way I always took it. And I always was comfortable and confident on the court because I knew I put so many hours and hours and hours in before the game that I was okay with the results that I was going to have. And so, just talking to people growing up, just whatever they want to do in life, it's going to take time, extreme focus, and a lot of hard work. Nothing's going to come easy. You're going to have, make mistakes. You're going to have shortcomings, but always just keep fighting. That's it.
Yeah, I played JV basketball. Had 1-3 the entire season. But it was the best shot of the year, so it didn't really matter.
That's all you got. You got that one.
Yeah. I think that's about it. Thank you so much for coming on here. Is there any way? Is there any way I can get like a photo of you for if I do post this to YouTube or anything like that?
Yeah, I'll get it to you. I know I have your Instagram handle, so I will just forward you something in your DM.
Awesome.
Do it like that.
Awesome. We'll definitely keep in touch if you're okay with that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's definitely shoot me a message here and there.
Thank you very much. I'll definitely send you the article too once I start writing it. It's been awesome talking to you. I hope you enjoy your day.
You have a great day, and thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for reaching out, and let's stay in touch.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
See you tomorrow.
And if you're prepared, then you're okay with the results. But and that's the way I always take it. And I always feel comfortable and confident on the court because I knew I put so many hours and hours and hours in before the game that I was okay with the results that I was going to have. And so, just talking to people growing up, just whatever they want to do in life, it's going to take time, extreme focus, and a lot of hard work. Nothing's going to come easy. You're going to have, make mistakes. You're going to have shortcomings, but always just keep fighting. That's it.
Yeah, I played JV basketball. Had 1 3 the entire season. But it was the best shot of the year, so it didn't really matter.
That's all you got. You got that one.
Yeah. I think that's about it. Thank you so much for coming on here. Is there any way? Is there any way I can get like a photo of you for if I do post this to YouTube or anything like that?
Yeah, I'll get it to you. I know I have your Instagram handle, so I will just forward you something in your DM.
Awesome.
Do it like that.
Awesome. We'll definitely keep in touch if you're okay with that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's definitely shoot me a message here and there.
Thank you very much. I'll definitely send you the article too once I start writing it. It's been awesome talking to you. I hope you enjoy your day.
You have a great day, and thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for reaching out, and let's stay in touch.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
See you tomorrow.